Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into a study that makes a pretty wild claim that non-physical, quantum-level information could have a direct, measurable impact on our physical biology. We're going to look at both the energetic and the cellular evidence they laid out and really try to unpack what's going on here.
So this really kicks things off with a massive question, doesn't it? Can information all by itself, we're talking a signal at the quantum level, actually influence our physical health? Is it even possible for a non-physical impulse to create a change that you can see in our own cells? Well, a professional association that focuses on this stuff, bioenergetic analysis, they decided to put it to the test. They set up an exploratory study on a product called Quantum Upgrade, just to see if there was any real connection to be found. So what exactly were they looking for? What was the core question here? Well, at its heart, the study wanted to see if a product that supposedly works on a quantum level could actually change the physical stress markers inside the human body. Okay, so the setup was a classic randomized double-blind trial, the gold standard. They had 12 people, and they came at this from two totally different angles. First, they used something called bioenergetic analysis, or BESA, to get a read on the body's so-called energy fields, and second, they used Darkfield microscopy to look directly at the physical state of everyone's blood cells. The big goal? To see if this quantum upgrade could cause a real shift on both of these levels. All right, first up, let's dig into the energetic side of things. This is where they brought out that technique called bioenergetic analysis, or BESA for short. So what in the world is BESA? Well, the study describes it as a way to measure the body's energy-informational field. You can kind of think of it as an electronic way of checking on the body's meridian system. Yep, the same energy pathways you hear about in practices like acupuncture to see if the whole system is balanced or if it's under stress. Now, to make their findings super simple to understand, the report uses a traffic light system. If you see blue, that's not great. It means there's an energy deficiency, a degenerative state. Orange means, okay, some kind of reaction is happening. And green, well, green is the goal. That's the sweet spot of balance and harmony. The whole point is to get out of the blue and into the green. So what was the starting point for the group that actually got the product? According to this report, it was pretty clear-cut. Before the study kicked off, 100% of their BSA measurements were sitting in that deficient blue zone. Every single one of them. But here's the kicker. After just 4 weeks, the study reports a complete 180. A full 100% of that group's measurements allegedly shifted from that deficient blue state all the way over into the optimal green range. I mean, that's a total transformation, according to this data. Okay, so an energetic shift is one thing, but you might be wondering, did any of this actually show up in the physical body? To figure that out, the researchers took a look at the participants' actual blood under a powerful microscope. And these pictures, they really tell a story. On the left, you've got a before image from the study, and the researchers point to things like cell decay and these weird, irregular shapes. But then, look at the right. This is the after shot from the very same person, and here they're describing the cells as looking uniform, vital, and really well organized. The report also put some hard numbers to these visual changes. It points to a huge drop in markers like Baron-Totzen cells, which, yes, literally means bare paw cells, and a more than doubling of the blood's flow properties, jumping from a 2 all the way to a 4.5. But of course, you know how this works. These results don't mean a thing without a control group. So what happened to the people who thought they were getting the quantum upgrade, but were actually getting a placebo? And right here, this is the crucial divide. The group that got the real thing reportedly saw improvements on both levels, the energetic and the physical. But the placebo group? Well, according to the study, they saw no significant positive changes at all. In fact, the report claims it was actually worse than just a lack of improvement. The placebo group's energetic condition apparently got worse over the 4 weeks, with their measurements shifting even deeper into that negative degenerative zone. And this slide really hammers home the final contrast. For the treatment group, 100% reportedly in the optimal green zone. And for the placebo group, a whopping 97% were still stuck in that deficient blue zone. So, after all was said and done, what did the researchers themselves make of all this? What's the final conclusion they drew from these pretty stark results? Well, the study's authors conclude that it looks like the human body can recognize and react to pure information, what they call quantum informational impulses. And they suggest this reaction kicks off a kind of self-healing or self-organizing response, pushing the whole system back towards balance. a process they claim you can see both energetically with BESA and physically in the blood.
And really, it's pretty fitting that the Research Association's own motto is information is crucial. That one idea seems to be the entire foundation of their analysis and everything they concluded.
And that leaves us with a final and pretty provocative thought to chew on. If a non-physical signal can actually promote physical balance in the body, what could that possibly mean for the future of health and wellness? I mean, is the information we're exposed to just as important as the food we eat or the air we breathe?